is Sports on Joy Prime. My name is Fentia Tahir Fentia. You're welcome to the show. Joining me tonight, my usual suspect, two favorite people on the show. Philip Achirim and Daniel Cranston. Sexy. Chalet. Sexy. Man United back.
But I told you last week.
Manchester United, they're back.
They're back. I'm a rainbow.
And again, before we go, you wanted to kill me last week because of your 100 cedis, so I've came with your money. So collect your money. That's it.
Pause. Man of his words.
Take your money. I don't deal in fake currency, okay? I don't deal in fake currency. Why are you inspecting my 50 CD note? Are you ready for another geographic question?
If you see a fake note, will you see?
If I do what?
If you see a fake CD note, will you see? Will you recognize a fake CD note?
The way they call
Any of them?
and if I say I don't go no.
Exactly what I'm about to say. The way this is anything that resembles money, you take.
I go some stuff here. Then they had, you see the fake notes, they stick it on.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I say, it looks legit too. Even if it doesn't look legit, it looks legit.
Why do they like doing those things?
Some vendor shows.
Some mobile money shops.
Yeah.
Like
they'll put the fake notes.
Yeah.
Or they'll perforate on the notes.
Brother, one day somebody will come out to those.
Has anybody given you fake notes as change before?
Huh?
Fake notes as change.
Strangely, I've never even handled a fake note before. Has it happened to you?
Hey. Charlie,
what happened?
50 cedis. Yeah. Those times, I bought to 50 cedis, they gave me change. Charlie, the 220 Ghana they gave me.
Were fake.
Charlie. You paid me.
Now, I've heard this story.
Charlie.
I've heard people go through that.
Back when 20 Ghana was money.
Yeah. When 20 CD was 20 CD.
Is this?
Now 20 cedis is how much?
Good old 20 cedis.
Now 20 cedis is how much?
There is some way. You don't get any money.
What has happened to me though was that I bought food, gave the women money, and then finished eating, and I went back for my change. She said I hadn't paid.
You didn't joke.
Bro, like it was so embarrassed. Like I cried.
Why to be joke?
And it was not now. I was probably like, I don't know, maybe like 10.
Oh, the woman cheated you.
Oh. I cried. I went to my mother came.
So was he saying you are not paid, so now you have to pay? Or
so, listen, you know how it is. Like you buy the food, you give her the money, you take the food. Sometimes they don't immediately give you the change. You finish eating, then you go. Yeah. So I finished eating and I went to her to ask for my change. And then she said that I had not given her money.
But so if you're not giving her money,
so why is she collecting the money?
Demanding that you pay now, or
and she said so I should pay.
Well, like this thing,
how do you pay? I don't have money.
You go jail like jacket and see they do actually for
yeah, exactly. So because I was a kid then. I mean, it's not adult life. If it's now, I mean, obviously now that can't happen to me. But back then, and this was also in the village.
Right.
So it's not like that I had a phone or there was mobile money or like, she wanted to lock me up.
Hey.
But if I don't have the money to pay now, what am I supposed to do? You said I should pay now. I don't have money.
Pause. Somebody sent message.
You say what?
Citizen Francis.
Is
said, Charlie, I did watch you guys. Say, fence hairline be sharp.
Hey,
fresh cuts.
Again.
Fresh cuts.
Yeah. My brother's for the
fresh cut. Oh, but this is the cameraman should zoom in. Let's see the edges. Zoom into the fresh cuts. Charlie.
Thank you.
Too fresh.
It'd be nice one.
Oh my God.
My barber spoiled there for me. I went to meet some guy. He said he's a cosmetologist. What does that mean? What work is that?
You know, be the
skin.
Women, Martin. Skin then.
I think so.
Cosmetologist, skin then.
Skin things.
Makeup things.
Makeup things,
Big shouts to you, Mr. Cosmetologist. He spoiled there. I saw him at the barber shop. He said he was before me. He said he has to finish his haircut before me so that he can go home and watch the show. All right, guys. Let's zoom straight into some action from the FA Cup, MTN FA Cup. Kotoko returned to the Babayara Sports Stadium for the first time this season. The stadium is now ready after they closed it down for refurbishment works in September because of that calf rejection and everything. They played against Future Stars. Some other results. Let me show you the full results because there were some massive shocks. Samatex got kicked out. That wasn't so surprising because they lost to BBN Gold Stars, the most informed team in the league right now. They're top of the league table. And they lost that game in Samurai Boy, by the way. So, I mean, if there's any surprise, that's the big one. But the following teams, House of Hope, no shocks for them. They won 4-0. Dreams FC won on penalties after the game ended 0-0 between them and Heart of Lions. So it was an all-Premier League clash. Wafa, they also lost at home to Golden Cakes. Now, God FC, that's a surprise one. They lost against Narnia. Narnia are winners of this competition from 2011, so you have to respect them. Now, one of the big shots, Dambot FC, lower tier side, beat Vision 2-1. Vision are in the Premier League. Brecum Chelsea, 6-0 winners over Boresa. And then Satraman also, who are defending champions, they beat Techiman Heroes. Another lower tier side, 1-0. And then WB United, they beat KAC Soccer Academy by 3-0 there. Look at the other results also.
Doma Derby.
There you go, yeah. Doma Unity beating Diana Stars by 2-1. So Diana got kicked out by a lower tier side. But for Kwatano, who made the final last season, don't even get to make it into the round of 32. They lost to Techiman Liberty Youth by 3-1. Young Apostles also going through on penalties. And then you see Nzima Kotoko also losing to Mediama. And then the club of the MTN FA Cup chairman, Sky FC, they lost to Second 11-wise by 2-1.
And they've been doing really well. Over the past, I think, 2 or 3 seasons,
yes.
they've at least reached the quarterfinals.
Exactly. So that's a big surprise there as well. Basake Holy Stars, 2-0 winners of a Cup Soccer Academy. And then Cape Coast Mysterious Bismarck Dwarfs.
Oh, so sweet.
They beat Soccer Intellectuals on penalties after the match ended 2-2. So some big guns making it through, but a few shocks here and there as well. Some Premier League teams getting kicked out in the round of 64. Okay, any thoughts on any of those results? Nothing really surprising?
Not really surprising. Of course, we expected Heart of Oak to win that against Immigration FC, but that's the FA Cup. We always get some upsets.
Obia Nyobia, that's the tagline.
The tagline, Obia Nyobia. So yeah, it's good to see when some of these, and it's an opportunity for some of these, smaller clubs, if you like, in the lower tier leagues to show their quality. So yeah, it's in the spirit of the competition that these results come out.
Daniel, nothing?
Oh, very impressive win from BBN Gold Stars. A tough draw, probably the toughest draw, but they've continued their form in the league. Last week, they went back on top of the league with the first win in, I think, 3 matches, and then they've doubled it. Going to Samurai Boy to win is not an easy task, but going there, winning and keeping a clean sheet is very respectable. So, good win for BBN.
All right. Let's look at some action from Ghanaian players abroad. And Karim will come in with Ghanaian players abroad shortly. But one of them make the biggest headlines, Joseph Pinsel. He didn't come for the last international break because of some personal reasons, but he is leading LA Galaxy to glory. They're champions of the Western Conference. They beat Seattle Sounders by 1-0 in the Western Conference final. And the way it is, it's Eastern Conference, Western Conference, the champions here and the champions there, they meet for the MLS Cup. Some Ghanaians have won that competition before, 4 years ago in 2020. Jonathan Mensah captained the team and Columbus Crew to a first ever victory for those Ghanaian players there. Harrison Affo was also part of that team that year. But now, Joseph Pinsel also has a massive chance to win. Let's look at the highlights. And the celebration after that was what made this all the better. That's his own song. So actually very impressive. Actually a cool song, isn't it? Would you invite him to come and perform at your wedding? Would you, not will you?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Oh, you shook me.
The song is a vibe.
6 months.
But to be honest, I mean, to be honest, but that's the point. To be honest. Oh God!
I need to see. I quickly glanced at my. You said that I checked. I said, why? What's your? He shook me.
The English, you know. Would you? That's hypothetical.
But it's still a very scary question to answer. Because you asked it now, I looked. I wanted to make sure I was not living in some.
But that's his own song, not for the first time.
Not for the first time.
He's been releasing music.
In fact, the beautiful thing about his music is that the first time he released 2 years ago, he released the song during an international break where he wasn't part.
Yes.
When we went to the Kirin Cup, then he released it. This one too, he wasn't part. No, then he released the song. Oh,
no, but it's
JP.
Congratulations to him and to his team. Of course, when you have your teammates also vibing with your song, in the way they are all clamoring in, it's just beautiful. Like,
no, but the song
singing along, hyping it, it's beautiful.
The song.
To be fair, if I released a song and I played it here and we are being recorded, you better dance.
Whether I like it or not.
Whether it's nice or not. But congratulations to him.
Yeah.
They will now play against the New York Red Bulls. They also won their Eastern Conference match by 1-0 for the battle for the MLS Cup. So all the best to him. I think that's this weekend, right?
Yep.
So all the best to Joseph Pinso. Will be rooting for him. But Karim is here to tell us a bit more. He's having a dream debut season in the MLS, isn't he?
That is true. And in the playoffs, he's not just a part of the team. He's a key member. Scored 3 goals in the 4 playoff games they have played so far. And provided
in the 4 playoff games alone?
Yes.
He scored 3 goals.
3 goals and 1 assist. So basically in the 4 games, in each game, he's having a contribution there. Except in the final that he didn't score or assist. But in the 4 games overall, he has a goal and assist in each of them averagely. So overall in the season as well, I think the last time I checked, he has scored 13 goals. So that will be around now 16 in the whole season he has played there. And the beautiful thing is that he can make it a very nice story on Saturday when people are busy trying to count and collate votes. He will be trying to win on the pitch around 9 p.m. We'll be watching. Now let's get to the team of the week.
So he won't vote.
So what?
I said he won't vote.
He won't vote. I'll vote on his behalf. I'll go to his constituency and vote for him. Quick. Then let's talk about the team of the season. Every time you hear Atizigi, what comes to mind?
Atizigi?
Yes.
Goalkeeping.
He's considered.
What else should come to mind? I'm really shocked.
I mean, he's got a reputation of being a good goalkeeper, but leaking goals, not necessarily by his
But
fault.
also has the highest save percentage in the Swiss League. Factus.
Well, there's that. Yeah.
And he was diving like this when he received the Sudan ball.
That is basically correct. Over the weekend, they played against Young Boys of Ben, and Young Boys won 3-1 against St. Gallen. Conceding 3 goals in that game, he made 9 saves.
Oh, God.
Then St. Gallen,
no, it's very typical.
Because,
he's conceded a lot, and yet
he's
he was a standout performer.
Which means, I mean, a lot of shots at him.
But how are they still in the league, St. Gallen?
St. Gallen.
Because it's like
he's made out like 12 teams.
No, but it's a recurring team every season.
Basically, the thing is that in the whole of the Swedish Swiss league, the thing is that the goals are really flowing. If you are looking at the goalkeeper with the most clean sheets there, that is Yannick Brecher. He plays for FC Zurich. He has 6 clean sheets.
Manny's teammates.
Yes, 6 clean sheets. And do you know how many goals he has conceded?
How many?
20.
Wow.
They've played 16 games this season in the Swiss league. And the best goalkeeper has conceded 20 goals.
Should be
already in 16 matches.
So, I mean, you're going to see goals.
It is.
So guess how many Atizigi has conceded?
How many?
40-something.
How? 29?
No, just 22.
Oh, that's not
So
bad.
second best, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Second best, second best.
No, but the way you build the preamble is like,
So,
yeah, it's
like,
like
the thing is that-
he's trying to.
So I'm just trying to say that in the whole league, it's
Yeah.
just like they are scoring so many goals.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and if you are looking at the clean sheets, the whole of his rank, Atizigi is ranking number 9. He has 3, and the best in the league has 6. So
And it's close. Okay.
Yeah.
he's close.
And Ati with 9 ranks. Well, Ati with 3
Ranks
ranks
number
9th.
And the best has 6.
So it means there's 6, there's 5, there's 4, then there's.
It means that the league Nankasa.
The defenders.
So it's not really entirely Atizigi's fault
yeah.
that he concedes so many.
Unfortunately for him, to around this time, it's national team to some way.
some way.
That's the problem.
Everywhere
Yeah.
you go.
Now let me talk about Maxwell Wology. He and his club, that is Fredrikstad, that is in Norway.
Yeah.
They played against Sandefjord and they won 1-0 away. And he is a ball-playing centre-back. In the 55 passes he attempted, completed 50 of them. Then let me talk about Jerome Opoku. He played for Başakşehir and they won against Göztepe. That is in the Turkish Super League 4-1. And he was again decent for them, completed 82% of the passes he attempted. Then Tariq Lamptey, he started his first game this season in the Premier League. That is for Brighton, and they drew 1-1 against Southampton. And this is his first start, and he provided the assist with a beautiful cross for their goal against Southampton. And now, all the games he has started this season, he's either scored or assisted. And in his last 3 games, he has provided 2 assists and scored 1 goal. The last start against Liverpool in the EFL Cup, he scored. Unfortunately, they lost.
Every Black Stars player has something credible at the club level. It's only when they wear the shirt.
That's the problem. I think we've established this statement problem a long time.
it's-
And it continues to bother you.
It's weird.
Very.
I'm not so sure that thing is just a Ghanaian problem. Nigerians also talk about this thing all the time.
No, theirs is not as bad.
Nigeria
Theirs is not as bad.
Yes,
AFCON.
but the level,
They were in the AFCON final
the level
last
of
time.
performance.
No, they were the AFCON finalists. They are going back.
Osimhen was top scorer for the last AFCON qualifier.
Yeah.
Lukman was balling it out
At the AFCON.
Yeah.
Yes,
So,
you know,
A bit better. But and then Lawrence Ajekum, he plays for Cercle Brugge, and they lost 3-2 to St. Truden. And in that game, he played as a DM for them, and 5 over 5 of the tackles he attempted, he won all of them. Then Forsen Amankwa, he played for Norwich, and they won 4-2 against Luton. Norwich, their current head
This is in the
coach-
championship.
Yes. Johannes Torup, you can remember him. Last season, he was the head coach of North Zealand, and Amankwa is excelling under him. He has 2 assists now in the championship. Then Kelvin Ofori, another Right to Dream Academy graduate, he plays for, what's the name? Spartak Trnava, and they played against Salika, that is in Slovakia, and he scored again for them in a 3-0 win. Then Prince Ampim, he came off the bench for AU and to score the equalizer for them. He knows how to exploit space.
I love that kid.
Yes.
He's from Wafa.
Yes.
I commentated on him back in the day.
He played just 26 minutes, and when he came off, he scored the equalizer for AU against Galatasaray.
Yeah.
There was Victor Osimhen in that game, and he didn't score. But how good Ampem is, knows how to use the space, and he exploited that chance and scored. Then another one, Ragnar Archie, he plays in the German Bundesliga 2 for Kaiserslautern, and they won 3-0 against Schalke 04. In the Bundesliga 2 this season, he has scored 9 goals in 13 games. Unfortunately, this game, he didn't complete the game, and that is the 9 goals he has scored. That is the joint highest in the league. Then Babonsu, he plays for Genk, and they won against, I think, St. Truden, and he was the player that won the most fouls, that is 5, and won the most duels as well. So basically, that is the summary
question
of
for
the
Karim.
this.
I mean, apart from Mutuado, only Karim follows the Ghanaian players
That's
abroad
right.
more than anybody. Perhaps
That's right.
sometimes just a little more than okay. But what has happened to Salis Mohammed? Salis, from the World Cup in Qatar, he looked like a player who was
That's a
going
very
on the
good
rise.
question.
All of a sudden this season, he left
moved
his club,
to the championship,
moved
right?
To Sunderland, in
Sunderland.
the
Yeah.
championship, and we've since not had. What is he injured or what is?
The issue is that he went there with an injury and never recovered. So the conversations are that maybe if he's getting close to returning from the injury, and if he's back in the few days of the general transfer window, if he doesn't prove himself, he could be on his way back to Lens in the French Ligue 1, where he couldn't fit in. That's
so it's a loan deal.
Yes.
That's a shame because I mean he seemed to have burst onto the scene, but he didn't really make the next step.
And didn't play. So he's yet to play a single minute.
Yes.
Since moving to Sunderland.
Yet to make his debut.
Yeah, that's a great question. Actually, that's a great pick. So that's that. Thank you, Karim. Thank you very much. We will take a short break here on Sports Zone. When we come back, we've got a whole lot to go through. All the Premier League action, all the La Liga action, all the analysis, all the highlights, plus your messages are all here on the show right after this break. All right. Giuseppe, congratulations to him. Listen, welcome back to Sports Zone, sponsored by Piva Beverages, Syntex Tank, Guinness, as well as Kivo, Gary 4-in-1 mix. Let me take some messages before we show you Premier League highlights. I've got lots of messages here. This one says, good evening. Why is Chicho not commenting on Chelsea anymore?
I commented on Chelsea only
last I don't know where they want.
No, I said I'm not going to talk about Chelsea on Twitter anymore.
Oh, God. Okay. This message says, hi, fan. This is Ade Jr. from Adenta. I think at the point, I can confidently say that my darling Chelsea is winning the league. I told you people at the beginning of the season, you people thought it was a joke. Good evening, gentlemen. I'm Shadrach, watching you live in Kintampo. I'm really excited for the progress of my only and favorite football club, Chelsea. It will be a scare when the team finally gels. Anyways, great show. I love the energy. I hope going forward the show airs a little earlier. No, 9 p.m. it is. So stay up and watch the show. This one says, Chairman, NATO one from Community 22, and Arsenal is winning all the trophies this year. All right. NATO one, thank you. And all the best to Arsenal. This message says, United to finish in the top 4. Joe Boy from Taifa sent us that message. This one says, I wish all the fans who were calling Caicedo a flop and a waste of money last season, who now acknowledge he's a phenomenal player, would pause and self-reflect about some of their current negative takes on other players. Mr. Swag from Wenchi sent us that message. So think about your life. All those of you who were condemning him and say it was a waste of money. Didn't have space to be patient, small. Thunderstone from Kumasi Magazine Macro says Real Madrid all the way. Hala Madrid. Thank you, Thunder, for your message. This message says, good evening, Fent and your guys. Chelsea is back to where it belongs. Please, is it Rodri that is injured or Man City is the one injured? I mean, Jim Villiers from Vanboy, my brother from my very village with that message. That's an interesting question. This message says, good evening, guys. My name is Gado Dawood from La Paz. I'm happy my team, Man United, is back to winning. United forever. Please help me wish my boy Raheem Gado a happy birthday in advance. May Almighty Allah bless him with strength, knowledge, and long life. Daddy loves you. Happy birthday to your boy. Okay? This message says, good evening, friend. Great to see you again. I don't always wish Man City well, but not to this extent. Enough is enough for Pep. Man United has handed their baton to, I think you mean their baton, to Man City. Greetings to all Chelsea fans in China. That's Castro Steve from China. That's right. This message says, FC Barcelona has finally gone back to default settings, and Manchester City won't know peace until they return the Ballon d'Or. Hashtag Odino Kweku Astro 69. Watching live from Atebubu. People have very interesting things. I just want to say, you people should check your studio table. Check like Ibizuku. Fento must have bought it from Malata Market. This table, it's strong, it's firm. Strong. Very strong. It's not loose.
It's strong, it's tough.
Yes, like
Syntex.
Syntex, thank you. That's right. Good evening, Fent. I think Amorim's system just faced Rashford and Zegzi. Just last week, somebody here on this table said it will not work. So we'll get back to that conversation. And also look at the kind of player Eric Ten Hag hates to see him playing. That is Ahmad. Everton had needs modernization in coaching. He was available, but Van Nistelrooy has been chosen by Leicester, meaning he's a cake. Josh from Hebron with that message. This one says the 4-0 trashing of the Toffees at the weekend has given all Red Devil fans the belief that the glory days at the Theatre of Dreams is on the horizon. Chef in Agona Swedru with that message. This one says, good evening. I'm enjoying the show. Congratulations to Liverpool. Good evening to you. Please, any updates about Mo Salah's contract situation? Mo Salah said no new contract offer. And he said the Man City game may have been his last home game against Man City for Liverpool. So the Liverpool hierarchy must look sharp, present the contract to him. All right, there's a message here. Good evening, Fenton crew. I have a lot to say tonight, but above all, Chelsea is the team to watch this season. Blues forever. And you wanted him to come down here. For what? Go hire pencil. That's Isaac from Adenta. It's connected to things. This one says, when I read this one, you know what I'm saying. Pitch. What is pitch? A quote from a fan after Ghana lost Angola. What is pitch? We are not having a say pitch. What is pitch?
What is pitch?
Guys, have you seen that key?
Sexy.
I can't take this guy seriously with that thing sitting on your head.
Sexy. Player.
What is this?
Sexy.
Does that belong to your wife?
Sexy.
Oh, God. This is not cool.
Sexy.
What is this? I can't take you serious on anything you say this evening with that thing on your head.
Be there. Sexy.
Let me take a couple more messages.
Why do you wash my face like that?
Just shocked.
This is so not cool. What is the meaning of
As
this?
a player.
What did you put? Did you bring that from home?
You two next to do my haircut. Shave your hair and come in.
Oh, God. I'll pause the messages. Guys, you know what? I'll pause it. Daniel texting from Cape Coast says, you guys are good. I feel we need to bring Akwesi Appiah back to the black side. The solution to most of the problems in our national team. He's a solution to most of our problems in the national team. This one also says, you guys are looking sharp in the studios, but please, friend, what is the name of your hair card? Sexy.
No, this one is sexy face.
Francis inside with that message. All right, this one says, good evening, friend. I feel your haircut rough. If the election haircut.
Election, Christmas, New Year.
Yes, thank you.
Only one.
Election, Christmas, New Year. Oh, because the way the economy is, you for do a haircut for a lot of celebration. I just have a problem. And you say congratulations to Joseph Pencil. I must say, I like what Maresca is doing at Chelsea. You can see a clear game plan anytime they progress play from the back. It's so sweet and nice. For Pep, he has to resign before he ruins all his achievements in the EPL because Man City won't pick for him anytime soon. And for Amorim, he should relax. Arsenal will welcome him to the Premier League on Wednesday with that history back. Prosper from Adenta with that message. Okay, guys, let's show some highlights now. Let's go through them. It's quite a lot for us to go through, beginning with West Ham against Arsenal. This was a crazy game of football where there were 7 goals between these two London clubs. Arsenal winning by 5 goals to 2. Let me just show you the 4 results from the weekend Premier League action. And then, so you can see there, Bournemouth, they won 4-2 away at Wolves. Brighton and Southampton drawing 1-1. Palace and Newcastle also sharing the spoils. Forest, they beat Ipswich 1-0. Brentford, they hammered Leicester City 4-1. So the new manager for Nistelrooy has been thrown straight into the deep end. And confirmation of Arsenal's 5-2 win against West Ham. Chelsea beating Villa 3-0. Spurs and Fulham in that London derby sharing the spoils. Man United, their biggest win since 2021 against Everton. Liverpool also beating Man City The result of that means this on the table. Liverpool are riding top of the table. They have a 9-point lead over second place Arsenal and Chelsea, who, by the way, I locked on identical stats in that they've both scored 26 goals. They've both conceded 14 goals. They have exactly the same goal difference, Chelsea and Arsenal. So Arsenal are only on top based on alphabetical order. Crazy stuff. Then Brighton just behind with 2 points behind Chelsea. Man City now dethroned down to 5th, and the rest of Man United, by the way. Now, this is significant. Look at Man United and Man City. Only 4 points separate them. And yet, when you analyze this season, you would think that Man United have had a disastrous season. So much so that they've sacked the coach. But they're just 4 points behind Manchester City. Isn't that crazy?
The most significant one is that they are only 6 points from second place.
That's crazy.
And Arsenal,
absolutely.
And Arsenal and Chelsea have had a great season. United have not had a great season. So that is even the most staggering one.
Absolutely. The bottom half of the table looks like this. So Southampton, Ipswich, and Wolves still struggling. Big time. Southampton, too early, but they look like they're going down, aren't they? That's really crazy stuff. So things not going exactly their way. I've got a message here from someone on Twitter. I think it's Gambero Roland on Twitter. It says, Fetch, you look more like majority leader.
So you refer to you as a majority leader?
I look like a Fenyo Market.
Yeah, refer to me as, just refer to you as. Not as the leader of the caucus.
Oh, yes.
Refer to you as. I want you to refer to.
Actually, it's hard.
And he says, anyways, I'm super glad my man.
Meet our friend.
Let's see Tibogo was named Athlete of the Year. But guys, let's pick apart some of the matches from the weekend. I mean, Arsenal's hit top form now. Obviously, there's not much to say there, except Odegaard, man. It's like his return has... It's like a magic wand.
Yeah.
That's just been stirred up.
He's a brilliant footballer, Odegaard. There's no doubt about
Those
that.
little things over the top.
Look, he manipulates the ball so well. What he does with the ball is brilliant. And it is what he also does off the ball that is very impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, when you watch Arsenal press, he's coordinating it. He's actually talking to Saka, talking to this, bringing the players around. And when he was injured, Arsenal suffered it.
Yeah.
Mikel Arteta had to then go back and play. We said it last week. Mikel Arteta had to drop his team back to play a more defensive way, start defending from the mid-block. But they're not comfortable to press high up again. And West Ham suffered it big time because when Odegaard, he's so intelligent. He almost reads the game for the opponent and is able to coordinate that whole press. And we're speaking about press as not a one-man thing. It's a whole system where bodies need to move in a way that can cage teams. And he seemed to have a way of arranging or leading. Think of Odegaard as Virgil van Dijk for Liverpool what Van Dijk does for Liverpool at the back. Odegaard does for Arsenal at the front when he's leading the press. But when he's on the ball, it is his... You know, he plays the game in slow motion. Odegaard never is under pressure to rush the ball.
No.
He takes his own time, plays the game in his own real time or his own world. And it's his decision-making that is crucial. He doesn't have the goals of... the assist of maybe players like Bruno Fernandes or others. But I think that if you want a proper playmaker, he's about the very best in the Premier League as we speak. In his role, he is superb. You know, he's just superb at what he does. Brilliant footballer.
Obviously, right now, Arsenal seems like they've hit some really good form, a really good patch of form. Just how much longer do you think this run can go on for?
Look, you ask the question like it's
predictable.
No, this is what we expected Arsenal. This is how we expected them to start.
This is what we thought they should have been doing from the start.
From the start, yes. It didn't quite click, obviously. Odegaard got injured. They took a while to gel. But it looks like the machine is back in place. They've got the important players fit now. Even the guys who seem to slot in when certain players are injured. You saw Jorginho come in the past couple of games, has done a brilliant job. Partey hasn't played. Partey didn't play against Nottingham Forest. He didn't start against Nottingham Forest. He didn't play against West Ham. Yet the machine is still working. And players like Calafiori coming back, Timber coming back. Arteta has now got the full set, what he envisaged his team to look like from the start of the season. And you talk about the Odegaard factor, it's extremely important, and Tito has brilliantly laid it down. It's not just about how Arsenal play offensively, defending also. And we saw Arsenal concede quite a number of goals. In fact, as compared to last season, they've been conceding quite a number of goals. But since he's come back, you look at the types of goals they are conceding. So against West Ham, it was a free kick. So some of those things are very difficult to, but they are not conceding chances and in open play as they were maybe about a month or two ago. So it's really important it was really important for Arteta to have some of these players back fit. And then I look, to be frank, I think this thing will continue. I think Arsenal will go on a run, but not on.
Talk to me about Chelsea and more especially Nicholas Jackson. How impressed have you been of him? I mean, he was a player that took a lot of flack last season because he was missing a lot of chances. Chelsea were pursuing Osimhen actively because they all thought, that Nicholas Jackson was just simply not good enough. This season, he looks a completely different player. His confidence is off the roof. Yeah. He's scoring, and he just looks like he is a very important piece of this Enzo Maresca team.
Yeah, and I'll credit the manager because you look at certain players who were receiving slack last season. It looks like almost every player in Chelsea has improved this season. Yeah, they have their job clearly cut out for them. They understand what they are supposed to do. And we are seeing a clear improvement from the squad. Now, the interesting thing about Jackson, I said it last season, as a striker, there are two essential things you should have. You should have the movement and you should have the finishing. Mm-hmm. The fact that Jackson was getting into the right positions meant that instinctive-wise, he was doing the right thing. Yeah. He has the movement and he thinks like a striker. It was the finishing that was an issue. And if you're a striker and you're a good finisher, but you don't move well, that's a serious problem. Mm-hmm. Because finishing can always be taught. We saw Suarez when he started the season, wasn't the best of finishers. And all of a sudden, after one intensive preseason, he came out and he was firing for fun. So we know that these things can be worked on in terms of finishing. But it's the movement that is if you don't have it, you don't have it. And for Jackson, he's always had it. And that's the reason why he was missing a chunk of and that's why he was so frustrating last season, because he was getting into the right positions, but wasn't able to score. This time around, and it's also important. The manager has stuck with him. His confidence is great. You see, as a striker, as you keep on scoring, you want the ball more. Your sharpness is fine-tuned, and obviously the confidence will grow. And when the confidence is growing, the goals will keep on coming. So I'm happy for him. I'm happy for Chelsea, and especially the manager. I think he's done a really good job so far.
Yeah, and on Jackson, a little bit on him. I think one of the more impressive things about him is the kind of goals he's scoring. He's scoring all kinds of goals. And if you saw the goal he scored over the weekend, it's a brilliant one, really. With his left foot, the ball comes, he sweeps it home. And throughout the whole season, Danny mentioned his movement has been very good. But now, when the ball gets to him in a finishing position, he's calmer. Yeah. Last season, he would rush a bit. The ball gets stuck in between his legs a little bit. But right now, it's almost as if he's more composed. He's got a bit of ice in his veins. So once he's in the box, he's in goal sights. He's not panicking. He's just finishing it off. But it's also important that the times that he scores the goals, he's scoring either the first goal, he's scoring either the equalizer, or scoring the goal that puts Chelsea in the lead, even if it's a draw. So he's not a striker who's coming in to score the goal, the fourth goal, which doesn't matter, the third goal, which doesn't matter. He's scoring very important goals at pressure points. Confidence-boosting goals at pressure points. And that is what you want from your striker, because when you can play as well as you want, but you want your striker to be sticking the ball into the back of the net at these times. And I think that to keep a player like Nkunku, because Nkunku is having a great season as well on his personal level. When he's played, he hasn't put a foot wrong, but he just can't displace Nicholas Jackson because Jackson has been good.
For me, I think the most impressive thing about Chelsea has been the way Maresca has managed the squad. Yeah. Especially when you look at the conversation surrounding the Chelsea team before the start of the season and the numbers that were supposedly involved. Yeah. And what he's done, even with a lot of the so-called fringe players, with that team A, team B, and there were people would criticize that idea of keeping a completely different team for the Conference League and another team for the Premier League and the Cup competitions. And you notice that there are so many other players who are playing their way into Team A from Team B. Yeah. And it happened to Enzo Fernandez. He was shunted to that so-called Team B because he had lost form a little bit. But you look at him in the last 2 or 3 matches, he's a completely different player. He's hit really good form. And the one aspect of his game that people criticize a lot, which was his lack of goals or even assists, is what he's improving now. Last weekend, this weekend as well, he scored and assisted another one. So
I think it also helps when a team is winning, because footballers are reasonable. When a team is winning and you're not playing, you can't complain much.
Exactly.
Right. All you have to do is to work hard, keep your head down, work hard. When you get an opportunity, make the most of it. So when this Team B have got opportunity in the Conference League or the Cup games, they've also made the most of it.
Absolutely.
So, and I think Maresca is honest. Because when you look at what he's done with Sancho or Neto or Madueke and Neto, Enzo Fernandez, Lavia, Caicedo, he's allowed players to show that they've got the ability to step into the first team, if you like. And when you've done that, he rewards you.
Yeah,
he rewards you with an opportunity.
Absolutely.
And players respect an honest coach.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's done great.
And the biggest example would be Neto and Madueke.
Yeah.
He's benchmarked. Everybody was complaining about Madueke being selfish, being wasteful.
Yeah.
Neto comes in, plays his heart out in a couple of matches. The next game, he's benching Madueke for him. So, incredible. Fantastic stuff. And you mentioned the nerve-settling goals that Jackson scores. This season alone, he scored 4 goals inside the first 10 minutes.
Brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Of matches. The most by any player.
That says the
4 different matches, he scored the opening goal inside the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Sets the tone for everything.
And he has the best conversion rate this season as well. 25%. So that's remarkable.
And he got the equalizer against City.
Yeah.
Ran through the middle and scored a very good goal, put Chelsea back on level terms. He scored very important goals for Chelsea.
Yeah. And 8 goals and 3 assists in 13 matches. That's ridiculous. Joe, thoughts on the Man City game? You've been very impressed with Anslot, but Pep Guardiola with the 6 fingers. I mean, that's pressure.
Well, you can call it that. Liverpool fans were saying you're getting sacked in the morning. He's just only responding to them that he's won the Premier League for 6 times. He's not going to get sacked. He's not going to be sacked in the morning as they were shouting. Obviously, he's under pressure. And the statistics tells us that he's never really been here before. It's not only him. All the players he's got working in City now, in this club, have never been here before.
No.
They are so good. They perform so at the very highest level, but they've never really had to dig themselves out of this pit before. And it would take something special for them to do it. Sometimes, and the reason why I'm scared for City a little bit is because the philosophy of Pep Guardiola won't allow them to do what I think could be the solution.
It's necessary to stop the rot.
They have to go back to
simple.
They've got to go back to basics. And look, going back to basics is not bad. I'm not saying
what is going back to basics.
Okay, so they have to focus, first things first, focus on not conceding goals, which means
stop the leak.
Defend well. Basically defend well. And when you're defending well, you don't take some of the risks that City takes.
Yeah.
Because what you're going to do is to make sure the back is tight. I'm not saying pack the back or pack the bus. I'm saying that defend well. Defenders should play as defenders.
Does he have that ability in him to coach that?
And it's the reason why I'm a little worried for Man City, because the manager they've got, I don't think he's one of those managers who's going to do that. He's going to try and defend in the way they play. But when you look at the number of goals that they've shipped in the last 5-6 games, it is disastrous. It is championship stuff. It's like, championship stuff or League One stuff. It's not a title defending team stuff.
Isn't that the paradox, though, that what you believe would be what would save them could also spell the end for them? Because the moment Pep begins to move away from his own ideas, then people will sense that he's beginning to doubt himself.
Not necessarily.
Even the players would lose confidence in the manager.
No, so again, the principles are there. Its application are also there. Okay. So his principles of wanting to keep the ball, wanting to press, wanting to play, wanting to engage, it can be there. And we've seen what Ruben Amorim's team done. I'm not saying I'm comparing them to. I'm saying that they try to play the ball, but first of all, they want to be solid. When you watch Arsenal play, Arsenal want to be cute on the ball, they want to be fine on the ball, but when it comes to defending, they want to defend, and so they are really defending. Arsenal leaving the spaces for teams to, joke around with them. They really want to defend. And if you want to watch Chelsea now, Maresca is trying to do that a lot more because he's been leaking in goals. So he wants the defenders to really be defending. But when you want Man City, some of the things Pep wants to do with Kyle Walker now, some of the things he wants to do with Vardy or Ake, some of the things he's asking Akanji to venture into, get into the midfield and do all of that. All of these things will work when the team is in high confidence and the team is playing in sync. At the moment, City look disjointed. And when you have a disjointed team that has no cohesion, and have not got the energy and the legs to press and play like you are used to, you can't ask them to do this. It's the reason why teams like Southampton, teams like Burnley from last season, were trying to play like City, but they ended up being where they were. Yeah. Because the team didn't have the cohesion, the confidence and the ability or the energy to do it. So we see a City team trying to do what Burnley did and failed at it. We've seen a City team now, not in confidence, trying to do what a team like Southampton are trying to do. They are trying to play up from the back. They're trying to pass a lot of the balls. They are trying to leave so much space in behind and trying to press very high. And in the end, it's costing them goals. I think something has to change. You can't always make the excuse. And look, Matheus Nunes was brought into the club as a midfielder. If there's no Kovacic and there's no Rodri, it doesn't make sense. You're
playing out wide.
Why can't he join Gundogan and Bernardo Silva or Luis in the middle of the park? Why does he have to play out wide when you've got Doku and Jack Grealish on the bench? It's just some of those things that Pep does that makes us say he's brilliant, that I think he now has to look at his team and decide that he has to first focus on getting the team to be solid. But look, he was beaten by a very good coach.
Yeah.
And a slot. And I was discussing with Danny before the show started that he's impressed me. And we spoke about why I liked him, because in-game management is superb. But again, it's the way he prepares and decides to play his team in specific games. On the back of the performance that Curtis Jones had against Real Madrid in midweek, I would have been thinking his name would have been the first on that list going into the City game. But what he does is to actually pick a team that was going to win him the game. It wasn't all about the game that had been playing against Madrid. So he drops Curtis Jones, brings in Szoboszlai. He's not even under pressure to change Szoboszlai and bring in Curtis. Curtis just came onto the game in 83rd minutes, came to replace Mohamed Salah, because he knew that in the game against City, he needed a player like Szoboszlai, who plays very vertical instead of, Curtis Jones is a brilliant footballer, but his game is very horizontal at times. It's cutting across the pitch this way, but Szoboszlai is going to go direct, come back into the middle of the park. And what Szoboszlai's important was in that game is simple, that it got Gundogan plenty to think about, because he was in behind Gundogan, and then Gundogan couldn't push further up the pitch. He had to keep an eye on him. Akanji will step up to him, and all the spaces were there. And more so, he decided to play Gakpo, Diaz, and then Mohamed Salah. And the movement about those boys was crucial. Also then, to wrap it up on slot, what he's been able to do with Gravenberch and McAllister is crazy. Because the two of them can, at times, switch the DM role. One point, McAllister is holding. Another time, Gravenberch is holding. But the thing I like about Gravenberch is he's not your DM who will sit and pick the ball and just release for the short pass. He actually carries the ball through. So his first touch is straight away taking him forward. And when you got Alexander-Arnold pinging passes like he was pinging yesterday, if you're the opening, you're in trouble. So yeah, Mohamed Salah is in form. Van Dijk was superb. Sisi had only one shot on target. That is like a League One or Championship stuff playing against Liverpool in the FA Cup.
The only real surprise from that game yesterday was that it ended 2-0. To be honest.
Yeah, the scoreline wasn't fair.
Oh, no. I think Liverpool should have won by at least 5 goals to 0. They were wasteful. And that's very rare from this onslaught Liverpool team. They've been mightily efficient in front of goal this season. But yesterday, they still got the most important thing, which is the 3 points. But the Premier League matches are coming thick and fast. December is always like that. The matches on Tuesday and Wednesday. Here are the fixtures. Let's go through them. The big one is on Wednesday. Arsenal, 4th of December, against Manchester United. Look at it. Big match. That's the biggest test of Ruben Amorim yet in that particular game. But look at that. Leicester up against West Ham United. Man City, they face Nottingham Forest. That's an opportunity for them to get 3 points. Forest are a good team. They've already beaten City, haven't they?
No, they beat Liverpool.
They beat Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool.
The only team to do that.
Liverpool. Right. It was Bournemouth that beat City. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
So Man City have a good opportunity to get 3 points here at the Etihad. If they don't win this match there, then I don't know what to say. Chelsea are going away to Southampton, another favourable fixture for them. And then the rest of the Spurs go to Bournemouth. That is some match. That's on Thursday night. Fulham also face Brighton as well. Guys, any thoughts on any of these matches or predictions? Arsenal, Man United?
That's the game.
That's a game, yeah.
It'll be tough, but I think Amorim can bring a surprise.
Arsenal win.
No, look, I think Arsenal are going to win. I think Arsenal are going to. Arsenal are looking very good.
Very interesting. He just Arsenal win. This is the first because it's Amorim first. Saying Arsenal win.
But I think
it was Ten Hag. You tell me that he can spring a surprise.
Yeah, I think I'll have to think about. But I think Arsenal are just at the Emirates. I think they'll be too good.
Yeah. Isaac from Ahafo says Barcelona will bounce back stronger, but trust me, Man City will still win the Premier League title. That's an interesting one. Isaac. Okay, so you managed to talk about Rudiger in penalty. Eric from Takwa, he wants us to talk about Rudiger.
Real Madrid one?
Yeah.
I thought Inyong was just careless. I thought it was a penalty.
Yeah.
He's too experienced.
Yeah.
Elvis from Takwa says, sounds funny, but the league is for Man City. Bookmark this. He says, interesting. This one says, why was Ahmad always on the bench and Anthony playing? And how actually caused his own sack by consistently playing non-performing players? Jose Yao in Sunyani sent us that message. This one says, fine. Okay, Danike looks like the Somalian in the Captain Phillips movie. I'm the captain now. You remember that movie? Is it? I'm the captain now. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Who sent that message?
Adair Junior. He's a good one. He's right.
I want to see the number.
You want this one?
Why you go text him?
Oh, he wants to take the guy's here. Is he here? He wants to take the guy's number. Why you want to memorize his number?
I will catch him.
And don't be threatened by his shenanigans. I can't wait to see Mr. Pep losing his job. He's finished now. So Adiku from Sakogu with that message. Guys, thanks a lot for all of your messages. We appreciate you. This has been Sport Zone brought to you by Syntex Tank, Piva Beverages, Kivo Gary 4-in-1 mix, and Guinness. My name is Fento Tahiru Fento. Sitcho for Philip Atrim and Daniel Cranton. We're here with me. We are back again next Monday. Next Monday we are not back here. Enjoy the elections, and it is possible for you to vote wisely. Have a good night.